Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to another board game chat with Angela from Board Game Grand, and I'm Annabelle from Meeple Village. Happy to have you guys here. And today we are going to talk about, tell them, Angela.
We're going to talk about city building games, and thank you to Christoph for adding that in the comments as a suggested topic.
Yes, thank you, Christoph. We are going to follow your suggestion and talk about city building games. Now, here's the thing. I wasn't sure what a city building game was or what games were actually city building games. The first thing that came to my mind was Suburbia. How about you, Angela?
Yeah, I didn't think that I had very many, and then I actually went to Board Game Geek and
Uh-huh.
looked at city building games, and I was like, whoa, I have got quite a few. So I've chosen them based on Board Game Geek's rating.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's I also kind of looked at apparently city building game is any game where you are adding buildings or structures to your board game in a way that helps you get ahead in the game. So anything where you're getting bigger somehow. Your game is getting bigger. It's getting better as you build these structures. That's at least that's for me. That's what I got. How about you?
That makes sense. Yeah. As I say, I had no idea. I knew like the ones that I've chosen are obvious city building, but
Okay.
these ones here didn't really spring to mind other than one when I
Okay.
actually thought myself, what's a
Okay.
city building?
To be honest, I don't think any of mine right away I thought, oh, I got a city building game that I like. It was after I did the research and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, then this is a city building game. And
Yeah.
with that, we'll get started. And let me show you my number one game. They're not in any particular order, but the
Yeah.
first one I
Same.
will mention is a game that I had to talk about because it is Puerto Rico. And that is not just the place where I was born and raised, but it also makes for an amazing city building game where your objective is to make victory points. But the way you do that is by adding plantations to your island and adding factories, putting workers on plantations and workers on the factories and making money so you can build more buildings and just it's one of those where your city grows, not your city, your island grows, and you see it. You see how you started with nothing, one plantation, and all of a sudden you have factories and you have workers and you have all of these cool things, and that is Puerto Rico.
Cool. I've never played that, and I know that it is like a hugely popular game as well.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. It is. It's a really good game. I'm surprised you haven't played it because it's of course
Yeah.
I got it because of the name,
Yeah.
and then I fell in love with it. It's a really good name. The one I don't own is San Juan, which is the city where I was born.
Oh, okay.
But I believe it's similar, where every turn you have to pick a role. And the cool thing about these games is that everybody's involved. It's not a solo game where you're just doing your own thing, and then it's the next person's turn and they do their own thing. Here, if you pick a role, everybody gets a benefit from that role. So that, in that respect, is really, I guess, social.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Hmm.
I know it's a big game. All right, I've got my
Yeah.
first one, and they're not in any order either, and it's really
Okay.
obvious when you see the name of this one.
Okay.
My City is a city
Yeah.
building game.
Yes, it is.
So this is like a really easy family weight legacy game, and you've got your board, and the fun thing about it is it comes with like envelopes, and
Okay.
each level you open the envelope and you're always like, ooh, what is going to be in there this time? And there might be stickers in there, and it will change your board and the way you play. It uses polyominoes. You know that I'm a big polyomino fan. Yeah, it's 2 to 4 players, and it's just loads of fun. My wife and I played it through in 2 days. We just played
Well,
game after game until it was done. And I'm actually giving it away to somebody because it's 2 to 4 and we only played 2. So there's 2 spare boards. So someone can
okay.
reset and give it a go.
So does that mean that you only play once, and when after you play the whole thing, it's kind of done? There's no
No,
replayability.
you can actually keep playing it as just like a standalone game, but I figured someone else may as well have the fun of like the legacy bit because we loved it when we played it.
All right, great. I like it. My city. I should give that one a go because it sounds really similar to one that I'm going to mention later.
Ooh,
In the
okay.
meantime, I have another one that's really popular. I know as soon as you see it, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that one. And I didn't think of it as a city building game, but then now it makes sense. And it is, yes, Carcassonne. Yes. This is a tile laying game. And for those of you that don't know Carcassonne, and again, it's that feeling where you start with very little, just nothing, just the river, and then you start just putting tiles, and it just becomes so beautiful. The table presence of this game, it's magnificent once you start adding roads and adding cities and claiming those cities and claiming all of those spots that you can claim. And it's fun. It's really easy to teach, and probably that's why it's so popular and such a, I guess, like a game that a lot of people know, even if they're not gamers, because it's so easy to introduce people to it. You would think it's easy, but it's not. There's, you have to know your strategy. You have to think ahead, but it's easy enough that anyone can join and join the fun, and just it looks so beautiful. And that's Carcassonne.
Yeah, good one. I actually sold mine, but yeah, I know it's like you said, even non-gamers know Catan and Carcassonne, don't they?
Right, Catan and Carcassonne are the ones, that you would mention. I don't play it often because I made the mistake of mixing all of the expansions, and now I can't separate them. And again, it's one of those games where you play with new people, and so I don't, because I can't explain all those expansions. There's just too many and too confusing.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
What
Well,
you got?
I've got this one, which I've been playing recently. It's A Wonderful World.
Oh, okay.
And I never really thought of this as city building, even though it obviously is. So it's a 1 to 5 player card game. It only takes about maybe half an hour to 40 minutes to play. I think the box is 45 minutes. And it's a hand management game. So you deal the cards. I think it's 7 cards each. Forgive me if I'm wrong. And you take one and then you pass them to the other players, and it sort of goes around until you've done that, until all cards are gone. So it's kind of interesting in a way that you might look at that initial hand and go, oh, there's 3 here that look great, but I can only take one. And then by the time it comes back, the other ones that you want still going to be there. Yeah, so you're building a city basically with the cards, and it's set collection. And the interesting thing about it is, depending on what you do in your city, depends on what resources you get to be able to use the cards. So if you time it right, you can build your city up, and then when it comes to the resource section, produce section, you'll produce whatever that city does. So it might be technology or whatever.
So it has drafting, it has hand management, it has Euro kind of, wow, that's
building. Yeah, it's mainly an engine builder. You build it up so that you're getting more and more produce each time.
The games that came, the other city building games came to mind, like Seven Wonders, where you're drafting, you're passing the cards around. So a lot of other games started to like, oh, it's like that. Oh, it's like that. Oh, it's like the one I'm going to talk about next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I've kept it here. I love this white box. It is Carcassonne. Yeah.
Hang on.
Oh, okay. So is that your last one?
That's my last one. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So we both get to talk about it. Yeah. What do you like about Charterstone?
Everything. But when I played this, well, it's legacy. I love a legacy game. It's adorable, and it's Stonemaier, which, as I think I mentioned them before, I love them. They're so classy in everything they do, and I love the way you stick the stickers on the board, and the board changes as you're playing.
Yeah, I had a ton of fun playing the legacy part of it. Just that campaign where you would do such crazy things. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that hasn't played it. But there was a game where I was like, we're doing what again? Like I couldn't, what? Okay. And then another one, there were a couple where I was like, really? So we have to step away from the game and do this other thing. It was so fun. Had so much fun that I did it twice. Like but you know how the board is double-sided, so you can do it again. And we did it again. love naming everything.
Yeah.
What are some of the? Do you remember some of the names that you named your?
Oh, I remember the name of my town was Genovia. Yeah, it's
Okay.
from the Princess Diaries. It's from a movie. But
Okay.
I don't really remember any of the other names, but they would have been probably movie references.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I have the Shire. I had Arundel. We
Oh,
had
nice.
yeah, we had a bunch of movies, yeah, and the characters too, because you get to name the characters, and we would just look at them and like, oh, this looks like Gandalf, so boom, there it is, or this looks
Yeah,
like Frodo, and like that. But aside from the legacy part of it, which was great, the campaign was great, and it was long. It was like I think
yeah.
10 games. I don't remember. Do you remember how long it was?
Is it 12 games?
12? Yeah, it's about something like that. But after that, you can continue playing it. I've played it after the just now without the campaign, just a regular game, and it's still fun because, in its heart, it is a worker placement game. Am I right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you on your turn, you're either sending out a worker, or you can spend your whole turn to get all your workers back. And wherever you place a worker, that's where the action that you're going to take for that turn. So it is a worker placement game. And who doesn't love worker placement games? But the
Yeah.
fact that if I open my board right now and you open yours, they will be completely
Oh,
different.
totally. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is mind blowing. So I can play this game at your place with your board, and I would have to have a different strategy than when I play with my board, right? So
Yeah. I've never played it since we played the Legacy version, so I haven't played just the standard game. We loved everything about it. It's one of the most charming games that we've ever played. Like you say, no spoilers, but some of the things when you open those little boxes are just so clever. Really loved
very
it.
good. Yeah. Highly recommend it. I mean, guys, come on, we both had it as a city building game. That's gotta say something, right?
Yeah, for sure. Brilliant game.
All right. Well, that's it then, right? We got
Yeah.
them all. We got them all. Well, we wanted to do something special to get you guys involved, so we came up with a little game that we want to play with you guys. We're going to put a picture right on the other side, right there. Yeah, you're probably looking at it right now. And the name of the game is Complete the Cover. So this is just a snippet, just a little part of a cover of a box of a game that we all love. And your job is to guess what game it is and to leave us a comment below. And then next time when we get back together, we will let you know who guessed the name right, and also give you the right answer. So tune in next time so you can find out what game that is.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I think we should definitely make this a thing.
We should definitely make this a thing, and we can come up with other questions for you guys for sure. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us. As always, if there's something that you'd like to hear us talk about, leave us a comment. Thank you again to Christoph for today's super cool city building game topic. We loved it.
Yeah.
With that, we'll see you guys next time. Anything else you want to add, Angela?
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm glad we both picked Charterstone, though. That was so funny when you brought it out.
Good. Yes, that was fun. I didn't think we would ever pick the same game because we have such different. Usually we play such different games, which is great because I think that brings such different ideas when we talk. We learn from each other so much. I love it. But to have to share the same one, that's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.